Hey, welcome to Day After the Mountain blog. Yesterday we did Boundary Peak up in Nevada. It's Nevada's highest mountain, 13,000 feet. James's first attempt at a real mountain.
It was horrible. 13,000 feet of pain and scree.
If you've never seen James with his hands on his knees and his tongue dragging, yesterday would have been the day. It didn't go well for him, but he made it. We hooked up with a guy named Tyler.
And his dog, Koba.
Yep, they were at our campsite at the end of the four-wheel drive 9-mile road, and he put little doggy boots on the dog, and the dog made all 13,000 feet to the top. That was impressive effort.
That was the dog's 26th high point peak in the U.S. That was my first. So the dog owns me.
Yeah, but we were at about 12,000 feet, and this Mylar star balloon just floats by. That was pretty odd.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
We were on the way down, heading over a very loose patch of scree, which is lots of loose, jagged rocks.
Probably a couple thousand feet up from the basin of the bowl we were climbing.
And the dog decided to try to jump over this patch of rocks, and it started to slide down the mountain. So I jumped over and grabbed onto the dog, and then I started to slide down the mountain with the dog, and then the dog's owner, Tyler, jumped down and grabbed onto me, and we all started to slide off the 1,000-foot drop-off. Meanwhile, Jay was just ahead of us, standing there.
I was in what was called a safety zone. Those guys were what was called death zone. But after much traversing, we made it down through the ancient Bristol
pine forest.
Yeah, those are some pretty cool trees.
It was an 8-hour round trip.
How much water did you bring?
We got 12 bottles of water. Finished off the rest of Juggy. Now both Juggies are empty.
Yep. So we got off the mountain. We were pretty darn tired. So we drove about an hour to the nearest town, and for dinner, I got a flat tire with Truckee. That was no fun. We couldn't figure out how to get the spare tire out from underneath the truck because it's an American-made truck.
So we had to call AAA.
AAA. But before AAA got there, some nice patron walking by. He figured out how to get the thing off, and that went pretty well. But I told him James not to finish it because the AAA guys would be mad.
Yeah.
So we were trying to find a hotel. We couldn't find one. So we drove to the next town. Couldn't find one. 130 miles later, we finally found a hotel, and you can see we're still pretty dragging. It's the next day. We've had a full day to try and replenish our juices, if you will.
That climb really took a lot out of us. We got down covered in dirt and blood. At one point I picked into my leg, which I thought was a bloody scab, and it was a piece of rock that I pulled out of the wound. And we finally got a shower last night. That was good.
Shower's good. Now we can rollerblade effectively.
Yeah, really can.
So we're driving today. It's like 4,000 degrees up in the desert, the Mojave, and I'm trying out this tattoo. It's a 3D tattoo. This is made out of what's made out of?
Ready whipped cheese.
Ready whipped cheese, and the piece of skin that's on is actually burning right now because it's been there for about an hour, and I'm not going to put that on a cracker.
I will.
Yeah. A little bit later, we're thinking James is going to go get his tattoo. There you go. We called around a little bit. We had visions of going down to the beach for a swim, because we spent most of the day up at 4,000 and 5,000 foot altitude, and now we're at sea level. And
it's really hard to breathe up there.
Oh my God!
I was incredibly winded.
It's so easy to get winded, but we didn't really have the best food up there. We made a Walmart stop, and James gets macadamia nuts and
sardines,
and Vienna sausage, sardines and Vienna sausage, and cheese in a can.
Yeah, it was rough on the digestive tracts.
A lot of cows up where we were climbing, and wild horses. That's pretty neat. The Milky Way was extra milky, extra creamy, if you will, and that was pretty cool. The moon was out. James is not a religious guy, but he's about as close to spiritualism as he can get. So next we'll have headed to the airport blog, I think. And anything else, James?
Nope.
We'll catch you later.
watching Kill Bill. It's really taken my